He will tell me, "Oh, Charlie, you have to get me 1 or 2." And Charlie will continue till when this project came. He did everything possible to pull me from my hideout.
Yeah.
Pull me.
Yeah.
Make sure that I'm part of this project. So when he believes in you, he will make sure that you are part of a good project.
That's right.
And I'm happy. I'm working with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nane Kuyamankwa is here with me, and she doesn't talk a lot, but today I've pulled her out. Nane Kuya. Yes, they've all spoken. It's your turn.
my teeth, so I can't.
Yeah, don't worry.
Properly,
Yeah.
but Gary is a fantastic man. I've known him for years. Way back, he was my host for TV3 EPL Fan Zone.
Okay.
And so, I mean, we've built connection way back as a brother and sister. Now he's my boss. I enjoy working with him. So I can only wish him a happy birthday. Whatever he's looking for, more success for Sporty FM and the Sporty Group as well. We are here to support him to build a legacy. So, happy birthday, boss. And keep enjoying in the air. He's in the air, so...
Yeah. So you hear all of this after?
Yes, after. So, happy birthday, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Right.
Years ahead.
Right.
Bye.
And AJ is here with me. AJ,
Hi, Raymond.
a few words for our boss.
Happy birthday to Gary Al Smith. I have not worked with him prior to this. I remember the first time he called me, he spoke to me as if he's known me for years. And he was like, AJ, you'd have to read. I was like, no, I'm not a reader. I'm a producer. I was like, no, you have to read. We will instill it in you, and then here we are. So God bless him. Everything he touches tends to premium quality. So happy birthday, Gary Al Smith. We wish you the very best.
Great. And, a few kind words from the team. To our boss, Gary Al Smith, happy birthday to you. And, we want to celebrate you today. We want you to know that we appreciate you. We want you to know that we appreciate everything you've done for each and every one of us here. And on this very special day, we pray that God himself blesses you abundantly. And we pray that, silver and gold we don't have, but what we have is our love and support and prayers for you. So, Gary Al Smith, wherever you are, happy birthday to you. And we pray for God's guidance and blessings over your life now and always. This one, we know you love your Shatawale, so this very special one goes to you.
Me and the man of the year. Out clear. Shatter Movement Alliance. Man of the year. So call me the winner. I call me Shatter John Cena. We will bring up Africa like Mandiba. Big up to every ghetto in we own a bima.
Your number one sports station, Sporty FM, throughout the first week of December as we bring you unparalleled coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw, which is happening on December 5, 2025 at 5 p.m. Ghana time. From now until then, and even afterwards, get studio analysis, fan opinions, and solid first-hand information from our correspondents in Washington, D.C. Our correspondents will bring you boots-on-ground perspectives of the ports, permutations, and odds. Come Friday, December 5 at 5 p.m. Will Ghana be based in USA, Mexico, or Canada? Will the Black Stars face a group of death? Be our guest on Saturday at 5 p.m. Be our guest on Friday, December 5 at 5 p.m. Get all the answers to this and more with Sporty FM's super coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw. And this draw is supported by Pay Angel and Litina Travel and Tours. Pay Angel, helping you support home effortlessly while cheering the pride of Africa. Litina Travel and Tour, your business and leisure gateway to 2026 global football competition.
But that aside, you don't know me, you for Google. I say this head bigger than your Duku. Stubborn Academy, we like to shoot too.
And Pay Angel and Litina Travel and Tours are proudly sponsors of our coverage of this year's FIFA World Cup draw.
I know they kiss your favors, nobody.
And I have a message from Pay Angel as well. Football lovers, as we gear up for the World Cup in the USA, Mexico, and Canada, Pay Angel is here to keep you fully connected with home before, during, and after the tournament. So whether you are cheering the Black Stars from the stadium or from your sofa somewhere abroad, Pay Angel lets you support your loved ones instantly. Keep your ECG bills at bay by topping up the prepaid in seconds. Keep the small chops at your viewing center flowing, and keep the chichinga, the chichinga, the football time kebab, hot and ready for all the merrymaking. And guess what? The all-new Pay Angel app has just launched. Fast signing, money delivered in seconds, and a beautifully redesigned experience you would love.
We know all of you, you'll be hungry.
Download the Pay Angel app now and enjoy the magic, and leave a review to win exciting rewards. Pay Angel, helping you support home effortlessly while cheering the pride of Africa. Pay Angel, proud sports supporter of Sporty FM's coverage of the FIFA World Cup draw.
I promise you will be there. Sabotage, them try sabotage.
MTN has great news for you.
Don't give me God.
For those of you who love MTN Free After One, prepare for the upgraded experience that is MTN Free After One Extra.
You know be useless. You know get orthopedic, better change your mattress.
Now let me tell you what Extra is all about. With MTN Free After One Extra, you can talk for 1 whole hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first minute of every 10 minutes you talk.
So anything with me I say, I know they want.
For every 10 minutes you talk within an hour, you only pay for the first minute, and you get to talk for 60 minutes straight with no interruptions. You like what you hear?
God, me, I promise. You go be there.
And that's not all. You get 100 megabytes of data for free after your first call on Saturdays. So you see, now is the time to talk extra with all the people you love. To subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra today, just dial star 550 hash, star 550 hash, and follow the prompts. Well, to subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra, just dial star 550 hash, and you'll be part, or you'll be joining the MTN Free After One family. You just follow the prompts after dialing star 550 hash. This message is coming to you from MTN. MTN, everywhere you go.
10 million lashes, but I no cry. 10 years burial, but
Well, Ghana may not be playing at this year's AFCON, but the tournament is being hosted in the beautiful Kingdom of Morocco, and it coincides with the end of year celebrations.
you for Google.
This December, Dunia Safari and Sporty FM are bringing you closer to the games.
Like to shoot to one bullet, I say, Charlie, it go make you
Why don't you try something different from the usual dirty December routine? Go on, dare to be different.
and the whalers. know they kiss your favors. Nobody bigger than God, Jehovah.
Travel with your squad or family, watch AFCON games live, and explore Morocco like never before. Dunia Safari has exclusive group travel packages to see the 2 finalists of AFCON 2024. You get to see the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Elephants of La Côte d'Ivoire. Use Sporty FM promo code SportyFan25 when booking to unlock a special 20% discount for a minimum of 3 people booking.
I'm like the air, you know,
Don't just hear it on Sporty FM, see the games live in Morocco.
Make I take off some sellouts, then be hungry.
Limited spots are available, so visit duniasafari.com or give them a call on 053-808-7709.
Luxury. We know all of you, you'll be hungry for this industry.
And you can send them an email, travelduniasafari@gmail.com.
Pass, I go bring my thoughts. Oh God, me up.
And you can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok at Travel Dunia Safari. Don't forget to book using Sporty FM promo code SportyFan25.
In it brushing. Oh God, me I promise. You'll be the hour of the day.
It's 7:55.
I know be your puppy, don't give me.
And I have a little problem.
Agenda, everyday agenda. 5K.
Well, I'll spend just about 5 minutes on my problem of the day.
You know, get orthopedic, better change your mattress.
Oh, just a little matter, that has just come up.
Me, I know the lose. I know the industry boy.
And we must pay attention to some of these things.
The industry boy. So anything with
Fidelis, give me a problem.
Hello, Dodge. The problem. Problem. Yo.
What's my problem today? You see, a few days ago, I saw the Greek minister touring the whole sports stadium. I was curious and decided to understand what business the Greek minister had to do at the whole sports stadium, to the extent that he was actually inspecting the facility. I later found out that he was inspecting the facility ahead of the 41st National Farmers' Day celebration, which is scheduled for December 5. So, as part of celebrating Farmers' Day, a venue must be found for the national event to be held. And as part of celebrating National Day, the whole sports stadium, which needs a massive facelift, massive renovation, massive reconstruction, has suddenly received attention because the politician wants to hold a National Farmers' Day event there. It is good that finally the stadium is getting some attention, because of course the politician wants to use it to host a national event. I remember somewhere in 2023 when Ghana was celebrating her 66th anniversary. We went to Ho again. We said the celebration was going to Ho. The politician went to Ho. My good people say Ho. They went to Ho to quickly finish construction works on the Youth Resource Center. The Ho Youth Resource Center,
Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
which has ultra-modern sports complex and a football pitch, a playing surface and all. So these two facilities are two different facilities. So the whole multi-purpose sports complex is there. We spent close to $4 million to build that. It is there. And then there's the whole sports stadium. It is also there. So in 2023, somebody went to celebrate Independence Day in Ho at the multi-purpose sports complex. When they finished, they left it. They left it in the bush. In 2025, somebody is going to celebrate National Farmers Day. NSA and the regional minister and all of them, they are busy working on the whole sports stadium today, even as we speak. Fixing seats and all. Because the politician wants to hold a national event day. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the real reason why we constructed these facilities? We built these facilities to nurture talent, to develop talent, to help us find the next generation of football talent, or in fact, any other sport discipline that is played there. But ladies and gentlemen, we only see significant work going on within these facilities if it has to do with the politicians' own events. But if it is for football reasons, the stadium will be left to deteriorate. That is the country we live in. And this behavior, this attitude must stop. This attitude of politicians only reacting to solve problems when it will benefit them or when they want to use it, we must stop it. We must stop this behavior. I remember when the sports minister came in, Honorable Kofi Adams came in. That was when the Youth Resource Center was brought back to life to a certain extent. That is why today Division 2 teams use that resource center, and then even Home Stars use it as their training facility. The whole sports stadium itself, when it rains, Immortal, you can't stay there. When it rains, it has a serious problem with drainage. When it rains, the whole pitch is soaked. The entire facility is not usable. And clubs have been playing there. They've been complaining. Nobody cared about it. But when it got to the point where the politician needed to use it for Farmers' Day celebrations, we've quickly mobilized to go and fix it.
Flick backward.
Attitude must stop.
Londo in.
Unless we are not serious about developing sports.
Flick backward.
Unless we are not serious
Londo in.
having facilities that will be
Flick backward.
and used
Londo in.
for the right purposes. I think that we should,
Flick backward.
get serious with some of these things.
Londo
We
in.
cannot continue like this.
Flick backward.
A
Londo in.
lot of money has been spent. And even the question you ask is,
Flick backward.
the youth resource
Londo in.
why don't you
Flick
concentrate
backward.
on completing
Londo
what the
in.
work done on this youth resource center?
Flick backward. Londo in.
Look for money, fix the whole sports stadium.
Flick backward.
What they are doing now.
Londo in.
They want to use it for the Farmers' Day.
Flick backward.
They hurriedly do things.
Londo in.
After Farmers' Day,
Flick backward.
that facility for any
Londo
redevelopment,
in.
any reconstruction or any renovation. That is the state
Flick
of
backward.
facilities.
Londo in.
You see, let's stop this.
Flick backward.
You see, let's stop
Londo in.
If the
Flick backward. Londo in.
If the facility needs fixing,
Flick backward.
facilities
Londo.
for its rightful use. But let's not hide behind events to quickly put the place together, go and bring people to come and do decor, state-of-the-art decor. After the event, everybody disappears and nobody visits the whole sports stadium again. Some of us are not impressed with how facilities, infrastructure for sports is left to deteriorate, left at the mercy of the weather, left in areas where nobody seems to get any use for them. Some of us are not impressed. And this culture must change. This culture must change. We must move away from some of these things. We must move away from some of these things. On Friday, everybody is going to host Sports Stadium. Whatever will be done to that facility, the play surface, nobody knows. But after that, our eyes will be on the facility. The NSA, our eyes will be watching that facility. Our eyes will be on the whole Youth Resource Center. We'll be paying attention to these facilities. And we'll see what will be done on and to these facilities after your events. We cannot continue like this. We cannot continue like this.
Ukeke can do.
Go in. Flick backwards. Long throw 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 in.
And this is still the Sporty breakfast.
Flick backwards.
106.1 FM.
Long throw in.
2.5 in Takrady and 91.3 in
Flick backwards. Long throw in.
I'll be speaking with a journalist.
Flick backwards. Long throw in.
Just to get a bit of insight on
Flick
the
backwards.
facilities I'm talking about.
Long throw in.
The current state of these facilities.
Flick backwards. Long throw in.
Facilities have been abandoned and not seen any
Flick backwards.
facelift.
Long throw in.
And what the plan is as far as
Flick backwards.
preparation
Long throw
for
in.
the National Farmers Day on that facility is concerned.
Flick backwards. Long throw in.
Is Eric Eji.
Flick backwards.
GBC.
Long throw in.
Radio. And Eric, good morning. to you.
Flick
Welcome to
backwards.
Sporty Breakfast.
Long throw in.
Yeah, good morning,
Flick backwards.
Good to have you.
Long throw in.
Eric, help me understand something here, okay? Is there a difference between the whole sports stadium and the whole multi-purpose stadium? Or they are the same?
Yes, thanks for the time. And yes, there is a difference between the whole sports stadium and the Youth Resource Center. The whole sports stadium is located in the heart of the regional capital, while the Resource Center is located at the outskirts of the regional capital when en route to Adaklu. So the two facilities are two different things. The whole sports stadium has been in existence for a very long time now. I can say that it has been there over 30 years. And the Youth Resource Center is a brain of the immediate past government when we decided to give all 10 regions befitting sporting facility. So there are two different facilities that exist in the Volta region.
Right. When was the last time we saw major works done at the whole sports stadium? Major repair works, renovation, rehabilitation.
Major repair works and innovation, I would liken that as far back as 1992, when Hovaradev, then winners of the FA Cup, had to represent Ghana in continental football. That was when something was done at the whole sports stadium. Apart from that, it has always been minor innovations that takes place. I remembered a particular point in time when the regional sports director, Madam Vivian Tugbulo, had to close down the facility due to its poor nature. One thing that is very seen at the whole sports stadium is its bad drainage system. The facility, ever since it has been built, did not have a very good drainage system. And because of the movement and settlement of people, a lot of the water has been channeled to different areas, and the whole sports stadium, because of its nature, it looks more like a lowland. And then when the construction started, they have to raise the park to an appreciable level before construction. So when it rains, it looks like a channel of water finds its way to the whole sports stadium. So that has been a major bane of the facility. Apart from the bad drainage system, I think a lot has not gone down very well with the patrons of the facility, because the playing turf itself is also not in a very good shape. Home Stars used that venue for their Division 1 game, and they did what they can to actually get it to an appreciable standard for the club licensing board to actually give them the approval to even use it for their Division 1 matches. Prior to that, there were some Division 2 teams who also uses the whole sports stadium, in as much as it is not a multi, let me say, it's not as good as people should expect it to be as a regional facility, but it's serving footballing purpose. Aside the normal things that you expect to see the stadium having, that is lacking, it has not seen so much major renovation as far as that venue is concerned.
Right.
So it's been little in coming.
Well, am I correct if I say currently or presently the stadium is getting a bit of a facelift ahead of the celebration of the 41st National Farmers Day? Would I be correct to say that?
Yes, you not be far from right. You not be far from right, because I can tell you that massive work is being done at the whole sports stadium as we speak, because the facility was in shambles. It does not befit the status of regional facility. So the moment there is going to be a national attention to the whole sports stadium, there is a need to actually give it a facelift. Painting has been done. Seats of the facility are also being changed, especially where we have the seating capacity. There are some old seats there. It has been changed. The safe zone has been touched. The washrooms that has not been functioning for a while, in exception of what happened or what we have in the dressing room, have also been fixed. The surrounding of the facility, encroachers have encroached upon it, and the place does not look very tidy. So the whole sports stadium is looking like a brand new baby as we speak, ahead of the commencement of the Farmers Day. But one thing I can tell you, Ray, is that majority of these things that we are saying are not for sporting reasons. So let me be very quick to say, because for us who actually are users of the facility, yes, we are happy that yes, seats are there, things are being done, but one concern that we are having has to do with the playing field itself, because that is what defines the venue as a sports stadium. The playing field is footballers play their football. The ovals are places where the athletes come to have their training. So if we are actually giving the facility a facelift, it should not only be the beautification that we see on the day, but we believe and hope strongly that at the end of everything that will be happening at the whole sports stadium, a little bit of attention will be channeled to the playing turf. I can also tell you that the drainage system that I complained to you about has actually been fixed even before the commencement of this activity. So that is enough to say, that is enough indication to say that yes, maybe probably the current administration and people who are actually leading the charge have at the back of their mind that there is a need to give the facility a facelift. So I can say for without contradiction that the current situation is so good, and it is giving a very lively view of the whole sports stadium.
Right. Bring us up to speed on the state of the sports complex, the youth resource center. The whole youth resource center, yeah.
The resource center, as you are aware, was meant to be completed in 9 months. I remembered 2019. The Volta region's own was the first sword that was cut across the entire country. where Honorable Enam Hajide, then the Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports, who hails from the region, led the delegation to the regional capital for that project to actually commence. As we speak, the project has not been completed and handed over to the National Youth Authority. We understand that project is under the auspices of the National Youth Authority, and the 9 to 10 month ultimatum that they gave for the completion of that project has elapsed since 2019, and several attempts to bring the contractor back to the facility to finish the project proved futile. There were even occasions where concerned sports lovers or writers or so actually went on demonstration to bring government's attention to the facility. As we speak, the facility is being in use anyway. When government changed hand, the new regional minister, Honorable James Gunu, he actually has been a journalist, and then he knew the situation of the Youth Resource Center. It was left in the bush to rot. If I send you pictures, Raymond, about the states in which the Youth Resource Center was, even after the independence celebration was sent there. You see, what is happening at the whole sports stadium, we saw similar thing happen at the Youth Resource Center some years back. Yeah, where government came and prepared the place looking very beautiful, and everybody thought, yes, that was just the beginning of the end of our troubles as far as sporting facilities are concerned. But immediately, I remembered Swag, we raised that concern that look, the facility is not only about its exterior, but what makes the facility a sporting facility is when the court is in good shape, is when the playing field is in good shape, is when all other components that sportsmen will use in developing their talent is put in good shape. That is what makes the place a very viable and a good one. But we saw the Youth Resource Center also being painted. We saw very beautiful things. The seats were done, the stands, everything was done. But immediately after the Independence Day celebration, we went back into the shambles, and it took Honorable James Gunu to send his minister's cap when he was actually appointed as a regional minister. He organized, in conjunction with the Regional Football Association, he organized a program that's a regional minister's cap, and he said he cannot be a regional minister and see a facility that government has spent so much money on rot in the bush. So he actually brought that tournament there. Work actually was done on the facility. Work was done on the facility, and then it has started serving its purpose that we wanted it to serve. Currently, as we speak, the facility is being used by some Division 2 teams. Home Stars FC, who are Division 1 team, are also using the facility. But it is not a completed project because the Youth Resource Center encompasses the playing field. They were supposed to be a multi-purpose complex as well. Then it's supposed to also be finished as an ICT center, and a lot more things were supposed to be done to get the facility a completed project. Raymond, I remember that before this project even went to that site, when UHAS was actually birthed to, the former president, may he so rest in peace, Fifi Atanos, he actually told us in the region that, look, you cannot have UHAS, University of Health and Allied Sciences, who are also into sports medicine. You cannot have a University of that nature that does not have a sporting facility to attach to the school. So he promised that he was going to build a multi-purpose sports complex attached to UHAS that will serve a very good purpose for the university students and also serve as a regional facility. So a land was allocated for that particular purpose, not where the Youth Resource Center is. So when Atamis passed on, that particular promise was not fulfilled. So traditional authorities, they were in anticipation that if there is going to be any other thing that will happen in the Volta region, as far as sports development is concerned or getting a facility is concerned, the project should be that project, and the target the target should be what was promised. But we were just there one day when we were told that the Youth Resource Center was coming. When the day the sword was cut, the chief who represented us of the state, Towe Housu, he actually quizzed the regional minister and the sports minister. He asked them that, look, this facility that you are giving to us, what is the capacity of the facility? The capacity that he was told could easily fit into the whole sports stadium, because there is an existing whole sports stadium that has little or no attention, just like what was done at the Kufurida Sports Stadium, where the Resource Center was just fit into the stadium for the Kufurida Stadium. It even allows the contractors the laxity to actually expand the capacity, and structure developments are already there, so everything can just fit into it. What Enam Hajide, Honorable then said, if I tell you now, Raymond, you will be stuck. He told we the people of the voter ring that, look, in the lead up to the 2020 general election, if you see the completed Youth Resource Center, that is NPP. If you see the whole sports stadium, that is NDC. It was a very unfortunate situation, a very unfortunate comment. And I can tell you that years on, until about a year ago, the Youth Resource Center was not operational. So that is one thing that politics has done to us as a region. Because Raymond, if this particular project was located in the original whole sports stadium, the whole sports stadium would have been a very good edifice.
And it would serve everybody.
Exactly so. So the Youth Resource Center currently not completed, but it's been put to good use, because we cannot have almost about 80% external concrete work done, seats are being fixed, everything is done, but because the playing field has also been grassed, but because all other components are not completed, as a region, we cannot allow it to rot in the book. So people are putting it into good use, but it has also not been completed entirely.
Right, Eric. Hopefully you keep an eye on the whole sports stadium after the Farmers' Day. Let's see if the works continue, and let's see if the playing surface and the other facilities in there gets a facelift as well. So let's keep an eye on the facilities, and hopefully we'll have a conversation sometime soon.
Yeah, thanks very much for the opportunity, and I want to say thank you so much for sending your lenses to the whole sports stadium. We really need this, because the whole sports stadium is an iconic venue. The days of Hoover, the whole sports stadium served a good purpose. The days of Who Concert and then Who Mighty Eagles, who were once upon a time losers of the FA Cup, used the whole sports stadium. And the whole sports stadium is just a place where, if you're talking about youth development, sports development, that is the only facility in the entire Volta region that will serve a very good purpose. We have the Kondo Sports Stadium, but as it is now, looks only football, and that is just for the state. All other parts that we have around the Hawkeye Sports Stadium is also one that we can have. But when we talk about regional facility, it is the whole sports stadium, and it is the shape in which it is. So we are only praying that after the Farmers' Day and then the Volta Fair, we'll actually see what the regional minister. He's a progressive person. He has promised to bring some development. He has started, but as we said, we are looking towards after the celebration and see how attention can be tuned to the whole sports stadium.
Right. Thank you, Eric, for your time on the show this morning. We are grateful.
Grateful as well.
Great. And that was Eric Edgis, a sports journalist at GBC's Volta Star Radio, joining us to share his thoughts on developments in Ho as the nation prepares to host the 41st National Farmers' Day Award at the Ho Sports Stadium. And, just like I said, when we allow politicians to play with us, to play with our facilities, to put a few things in our minds, in our heads, and then they leave it hanging. 66th Independence Day celebration. It was a whole Youth Resource Center. After that, facility went off. Today, 41st National Farmers' Day. It is at the whole sports stadium. A lot of money is being pumped to give it a nice look and feel. We will be here. So, but for National Farmers Day, nobody would have paid attention to Whole Sports Stadium. Nobody would have been bothered about going to fix it. But they'll make it look nice. They'll paint it. They'll fix the seats. Because His Excellency the President will possibly be there. And after the event, you see, and I'm saying that, look, we cannot continue treating our sports infrastructure like this. We cannot. We did it with the Youth Resource Center. We are doing it with Farmers Day. Politicians should stop this. If the facilities are for football, let footballers also get the pleasure of playing football in a good facility. Let football be the reason why we go to develop some of these facilities. If we want to use it for other events, let that be the aside. Let that be the byproduct of the facility. But not the main reason why we have to quickly go and mobilize resources to fix facilities. No way. Hey, Mata, should I open the phone lines? We'll talk about Black Queens and all the matters arising before we begin the discussion on the show this morning. So you can give us a call, 0542-571061, 0542-571061, or 0302-794805, 0302-794805. I have a caller on the line. Good morning to you. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, good morning, Ray.
Good morning.
How are we?
I'm good. Yourself?
Annabelle, I'm good.
Yes, Annabelle, let's hear you.
Good. First of all, a very birthday to Gary.
Yes.
Yes, the man of the moment. You know, if you have someone like Mr. Banson working with you, you know, the man went out of radio for some years. And if he comes back and it's because of you, Gary, that means you are doing something good, something extraordinary. So he needs to be commended. Some of us haven't had a direct contact with him before, but based on the accolades going around him by his people, it shows the kind of person he is. So wherever he is, Alex, big up to you, Mr. Smith.
Right.
Doing good, and may God continue to bless you. Now, yesterday, our friends, they did very well. Actually, we don't have to be glorified in defeat. But in this situation, it's quite different. A team that is on top of its world, on top of Europe, beating the world champions back to back or 2 times European champions. Sadly, they are not cheap meat. Trust me. Everybody was yesterday. Lukundo, is it one of the panels that comes to sports guys?
Yeah, early.
We thought we were going to be walloped by 8 goals last. But here we are. Even the first goal, it was a panic. It was a mistake that caused that goal. And after which they managed to hold up. It's because of the respect they had for the team. That is why they couldn't play, because we realized stringing passes was even difficult. You understand? Yeah. So we shouldn't discourage them. They did well for holding this English team for 90 minutes plus, 2-0. That's not a bad performance. So kudos to them.
Right.
Now, let's come back to the politicians, as you are saying, my brother. These people, we know them already. You know, it's just that when the situation comes, we have to talk. If not so, we will just keep quiet and watch them. How can you leave a facility down to rot? And when it comes to a national celebration, all ministers will go there, inspect the facility, and try to do some quick, shoddy job just for 2-day celebration, after which we wouldn't go there again. They don't think about the youth. We all know this. But we will keep talking about it. How can you leave a sports center, a recreational center that was started by somebody, no matter what it is, what they said during the period? It's not bad to have these 2 good facilities in Ho. So, what the reporter was saying, he has his point. But if they had completed it, my brother, it wouldn't have been a bad idea at all. You understand?
Yeah.
We can't put everything in Ho sports stadium and turn it to become a recreational center. No, it is 2 different things. So the only unfortunate situation is they couldn't complete it. And we have said this several times that this government should try. And those sports recreational centers that were built, the ones that are 80% completion, 70 and around 95, they should try and complete it. It doesn't spoil anything. Why are they leaving it and promising new stadiums for us? Who need those things? Why?
Well, Annabelle, as for the problems in this our country, when we start talking, we won't finish. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time on the show this morning. Give us a call 0542 571061 0542 571061 or 0302 794805 0302 794805 or 0542 571061. We are talking about the Black Queens. The Black Queens and their performance against the Lionesses yesterday. We are talking about Division 1 League. If you're interested in Division 1 League, we'll be having a conversation around that league on the show today, Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3. And also, we can get into Europe. Yesterday, there was DFB Pokal Cup action. And then there was also the English Premier League game between Manchester City, who now are 2 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal have it all to do later tonight. Let me get back onto the lines. Good morning to you. Your name and where are you calling us from? Okay, I think I missed the call out there. But you can keep your calls coming, 0542 571061. And we'll be talking about the English Premier League as well. Later tonight, some games will be played. Arsenal are in action against Brentford. And then there's Chelsea playing Leeds and Liverpool take on Sunderland. And in the Italian Coppa Italia, there's Coppa Italia as well in Italy. And we'll be seeing some very, very interesting games there today as well. Inter Milan play Venezia. Napoli will be in action against Cagliari. Atalanta will also be in action later tonight. And of course, in Spain, Real Madrid have it all to do. They have to chase Barcelona at this moment because Barcelona are 4 points clear at the top after winning their game yesterday against Atletico Madrid. So keep your calls coming, 0302 794805. And, would be glad to hear you share your thoughts with the rest of the world. But we'll begin the discussion from the camp of the Black Queens. Yesterday, we saw a spirited performance from the ladies. I heard someone say, God save the Queen. But did God really save the Queen? Because I've heard the argument, well, England didn't play with their full-strength team. They played with French players who are looking for position in Serena Wegman's squad. All sorts of things have been said. But the Queens did hold their own against the Lionesses. And Abigail has joined me this morning. We'll be reviewing that game and the performance of the Queens. Abigail, welcome once again.
Thank you for having me once again.
Great. What do you make of the performance of the girls yesterday? Let's start from there.
It was good. Surprised? No. Because I've seen them turn up when they are faced with certain difficult situations, not once, not twice, but at least 3 times in Morocco. And so I'm not really moved by the fact that a lot of people had other thoughts or other predictions ahead of the game and they came out or they turned up like this. I feel that what I wanted to see, I saw. The level of competition they're giving themselves, especially the very reason everybody is talking about Cynthia Findip-Conlan, the fact that I'm sure she sat back and realized that the minute Afia Menyaku is out there, clearly she has to also sit up. And I'm happy for her for the fact that she took that bold decision to come down and play with FC Samatex ladies when things are not really going well in Squecky and she had to look for a club. To rather sit idle, I'm happy because in the last 5 weeks it has offered her 4 Premier League action and then 1 Women's FA Cup action. So she's been active, and it was evident in how she kept. Clearly, nothing really jittery or let me say lacking in that department. I was really impressed with Benedict Simon. Yes, first day jitters allowed, and this is the only point of where she can make the mistakes and then we will correct it, than go or present her in games that will need points and then those mistakes will be made. I'm sure going forward she herself will look at her first 15-20 minutes and know that she was really in a haste to fit in there, but when she came down and then decided to play, that is the level of quality we want for the senior women's national team. The goals could we have avoided them? Maybe the first one, but for penalty is the referee's decision, and it could have. Cynthia had the direction, but I think Russo's power behind that shot, clearly she couldn't have stopped it. And so, for me, it was a fair game. I, for one, that I was not looking for results. I'm not really concerned about that, but I am happy with how the girls came out, not scared. Yes, in the opening minutes, they gave the Lionesses some level of respect, but I think that when they came down and realized that they could enjoy themselves and play the game, they played their hearts out like we would have all wanted. And I'm very happy that Grace Asantua keeps getting better every other time with the senior national team, commanding that medal together with Jennifer Kujo. I am happy. But once again, my worry will be who will take up that mantle after Portia Boache, because the way she's going, you can only wish she's that younger to give us a lot more years. But come on, it will come to a point she might not just be able to continue. And I'm really happy with how she steps up to lead and play every other time. So yes, I'm sure we learned a thing or two from that game, and we really need to work on our finishing as well. Yes, Kofi Kim also came in and showed that she could fight when she's given the opportunity to also play. And I like the fact that Kim allowed almost everybody to have a feel of the game. Clearly, not everyone can be on the pitch at the same time, but he was able to manage the time. But for I think Nina Noshi, Kari McCarthy, and 2 or 3 others who couldn't play, but we are all a part of history that has been made. So a good point, let me say a good moment for our women's football, and I think that yesterday the girls showed up. I go back, I sit back and I read the comments on social media, and I am very happy. It's always just giving us a sign that if we change our mindset about the women's game and decide to support, this is what we will get. Hitherto, if we were in neck deep in like this, I'm sure we would have gone above this level. South Africa and Morocco were playing almost at the same time, so it tells you that everybody's preparing for AFCON. And if you have been able to get this level of test, they need to give us more to be sharper ahead of March 2026, and I think that the Queens will come good. But as much as we are trying to praise this cup and very happy with it, I just wish that we don't get to the point where they will fade out completely before we start to rebuild again. Let's just have the eyes for the next cup. Let's get another generation or another set of players in line to be able to be that perfect backup and continue from where these Queens or this cup will leave for us. And I think we are building that very well, especially in the goalkeeping department with Afia Menyaku. She is a very good backup for Cynthia Findip going on in the future. So for me, I was not too happy, I was not too surprised. Impressed extremely. I was extremely impressed. I knew they were going to be able to stand this test and try to show, but to show up the level at which they did, I was really, really impressed rather than surprised.
Right. Let's talk about some of the key performances in that game.
Yeah.
And I would let me single out the goalkeeper, Cynthia Conlon.
Yeah.
You look at the match stats after the game, and England finished the game with an XG of 5.21. They scored just 2 goals.
Yeah.
Now, you look at the number of shots she faced close to 7 clear goal scoring opportunities that she saved.
Yeah.
Now she finished with an XG of 2.99 in terms of goals prevented. So clearly there were at least 3 clear goal-bound opportunities she was able to intercept.
Yeah.
Because of her brilliance.
Yeah, I remember 2 with her hands, 1 with her leg when she went down and realized she couldn't stretch.
Yes. You know, as she faced the shots faced, like she finished at 4.99. She really kept the Queens in the game. Who is Cynthia Conlon, and where does she play? How come she's this good?
Cynthia Finde, for me, in the last 3-4 years, when she got introduced to the Black Queens, I think that has walked straight into that position, cemented it, and up to a point when we've been playing for the Olympic qualifiers. I remember one game she was unable to come, and that was when we conceded, and people were saying, hey, is it the fact that she's the only one that can keep for the Queens and all of that? I think that she walked into a set that she was able to fit in and then build herself over time, just like Susan Amadia. The first time I saw her with the Queens, I was like, no, this lady is too sluggish for a central defender. But I sit back now, and she's the best pair I would have for Portia or any other person in that central defense. So I think that just like Cynthia has grown into the game, moved to Malta, played with Squecky for quite some time. Getting to the latter part of last year, before we went for the WAFCON this year, she had a little issue there, not going back, almost not having a club. And then soon after WAFCON, she decides to join Summertex Ladies, a new entrant into the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League.
Okay.
You know, it's a huge decision to take, and I don't think she took that decision alone. Clearly, I keep saying that whoever advised her, and I'll not take that credit away from my husband because she's a married woman, and so clearly she would have that conversation with her husband ahead of her future. So to play for FC Summertex, yes, I had people telling me it was a bad decision, others saying it was a good decision because of the level she had played, coming back home to play for Summertex Lady. And I asked people that, where did she start from? This is where she started from before getting there. So clearly, if there's anyone that there's anywhere for her to restart, it's just home. She began this with Pelpia Ladies in the same Women's Premier League we're talking about. So I feel that she was able to encourage herself, got into FC Summertex, and I really appreciate Edmond Naka, Paula Yamba, and the leadership of FC Summertex for at least, yes, they qualified with a different goalkeeper, but I'm sure quality and for her level, they allowed her to keep at least in the openings of the season and the Women's FA Cup as well, getting her prepped up, getting her that fit. Consistency is key. And I think that is what Cynthia has enjoyed away from the WAFCON, because there was a lot of conversation as to where she was going. You know, in this country, it's difficult for goalkeepers to be shipped out. Yeah. So the minute you go out there and you come back and you have to find your way out there again, it becomes very confusing. And so I'm also happy that she didn't literally join, the big girls to now go and fight for a place, But FC Summertex, I'm sure it offered her that time to be able to calm herself down and know that, okay, I have that peace of mind to really get myself back up there. And it showed yesterday. If you had asked me before the game that who do I think will really stand out, like far above herself, I don't think I would have mentioned Cynthia among the my first 5 or maybe my first 3. I would have looked at how our defense will line up. But she, as the last woman, as a part of that defense, yesterday she really got everybody in out. And I think that it is good if we have it this way. It only shows that wherever you are playing, if you put in the work, it will show. And whether out there or here. And
I think after yesterday's performance, her days at Summertex certainly numbered.
Even before yesterday, her days were numbered. So I think that after yesterday, it has been far shortened to hours, if I can even say that, because I didn't see her playing FC Samba till the end of the season. I envisaged she would have been around at least the end of the first round. But with what has happened yesterday,
she sold herself.
You know, ahead of the game, yesterday, that's what I said, Raymond. Go out there. Enjoy yourself and try to put yourself out there for people to see. And I think that the opportunity presented itself at the right time, I think, for Cynthia. She was really able to show us some of her goalkeeping prowess. Particularly very I think that
flick backwards.
Also key.
Yeah. Let me get
flick backwards.
Yesterday we had a conversation with Rosalind Amo. She's a journalist and a sub-editor at Graphic. She joined us on the phone lines yesterday. Let's quickly touch base with her. On the game we all watched yesterday.
Flick backwards.
Good morning to you and welcome to
Londo in.
Good morning, Raymond.
Flick backwards. Londo in.
Great. I'm sure
flick backwards.
You're excited
Londo in.
about the performance of the Queens in last
flick
night's
backwards.
game. What are your
Londo in.
thoughts on the game we all watched last night?
Flick backwards.
Thank you very much.
Londo in.
Abigail has already said a lot. I was
Flick backwards.
yesterday I told you
Londo in.
to look at the positives you could draw from the game.
Flick backwards. Londo in.
Said about the results at all.
Flick backwards. Londo in.
The game with baskets by their side.
Flick backwards. Londo in.
I don't know whether you are
flick backwards.
or you are going to use it for something else, but definitely it did not happen. And I haven't slept just out of excitement and joy because I'm so happy for the girls, for what they did for themselves, what they showed up and showed off and showed the world that, look, we've always been saying this, Raymond, that with good planning, investment and management, there is nothing that the Ghanaian footballer cannot do. There is nothing. I mean, and the Queens have showed it. I said that we have never, the potential, the skill, and the talent has never been in doubt. What was left was how to manage and invest in those resources to ensure that we optimize the benefit. And yesterday, it was just a tip of the iceberg. I am happy. Abigail was talking about Cynthia. Solid performance. I think everybody was fine. People did it. She was just calm, very well composed, and everything that she did was so on point. And she reminds me of Anchi, the Nigerian goalkeeper who was there. And for us, height is also on her side. You remember that for us as Ghana, we haven't had very tall goalkeepers, apart from perhaps Gladys and Abiba Suleimana. We haven't had those tall goalkeepers. So for her, I think that is there. And like every goalkeeper, exposure, experience, maturity is making them better. They are becoming a final one, and that is what Cynthia stood for yesterday. I mean, from the defense to the attack. I don't know which player I would fault. Even the staff that came on. I remember I was on set with Gloria Petra, and we were discussing it, and I told her, look, even on the bench, I was looking on the bench, and I realized that we had Abigail Kofi Kim, we had Alice Kuti, we had Naranoshi and all that. And I said, look, I think that Kim Lash is doing something brilliant with the team, and I'm excited about it. Now, I can't say much more than what Abigail has already said.
Right. Now, who are your, apart from the goalkeeper, Cynthia Conran, who are your other standout performers in the game? And what do you think this team should improve on in future?
So I will start with the new player, Benedict Simon. She showed her experience and maturity and exposure, because for you to start for a team that you had just been called up to, and for you to concede, a goal in the manner that you did, it could have affected her psyche and her contribution to the game. But once she recovered and settled in, we all saw the quality she brought to the team. I think that we also probably we have been so comfortable with Francois that we think that it is a matter of course. But look at the way when she took over the midfield, she commanded the play. At a point, we saw that Jennifer Kujo was there, but everything that changed on the performance of the team, so far as attacking and moving back and forth was concerned, and slowing down the three Lionesses was very much dependent on how the midfield was controlled, and we all saw how Akantua did it. Another player that I was looking out for, I mean, her potential has never been in doubt, is Princess Mafu. We saw how she came on and almost got a goal when she came on at the start in the second half. Abigail Kofi came also impressed me. But for me, I think that collectively they all understood the role they had been given, the job at hand, and everybody played to the instruction that they had been given.
Now, I'll ask you this question again. What next for the Queens? Where do they go from here after such an impressive performance? What next for them?
So we await the program for them to prepare for the Women's AFCON in Morocco. That competition is in March, I think March, April, and so they have barely 3 months to prepare to get into the ship. I haven't spoken to anybody within the FA and the coast, so I don't know, but I'm sure they will line up a couple of many more international friendlies that will help them shape up. At this moment, it is no longer a team-building effort because we know the team. You know the team is almost there. The team is there. The starting team. What they need to do is the consistency, the cohesion, and the exposure. And so for me, I am looking forward to see the kind of activities that will be given to them so that they will be able to play and prepare for the AFCON. And that aside, I don't know whether in this last few months, Kim Lass would want to bring on any new player, apart from maybe Frida Elisi that we know of, but who was injured and has been kept out of the team for some time now. Apart from that, I don't think that at this moment it will be prudent for you to bring a player when you have 24 players who you already know and who you can play. Unless there is the need for you to fill a particular gap in the team, I think the 24 that we have and a few French players would do. Maybe from the under 20 who are not eligible to play anymore for the under 20s to come and join them, and we'll see how it goes. Right.
There's a lot of talk about Portia Boachi and how everybody wishes she was 22. What kind of player? What kind of player is Portia Boachi, and how come she's been able to last this long with the team?
So I am privileged to have seen Portia Boachi when she was, let me say, a toddler in the women's team. I remember her. We used to have a name for her, which I don't want to say on radio now, but I think that she reminds me so much of Albert Kasaki.
Okay.
Raymond, you know Albert Kasaki, and you see the
fantastic
quality Albert Kasaki brings the Black Queens. I think that Portia has stepped onto the roof. She's a woman of few words. Portia doesn't talk. But what she lacks with regard to speaking and interaction, she shows off in her game. She has come so far. She started off with a lot of more talented players, and I'll mention a few. Priya Malpa, Agnes Diakon, and what has become her mainstay is her sense of discipline and dedication. She is not afraid to start. She started off as a striker. She was an out-and-out striker. But over the years, she has turned out to become a utility player. And now, Kim Lass has comfortably converted her into a fullback. And I think that she, I don't know, but she's blessed. And I think it's the discipline that she's put in her life, even off the pitch. She's calm. She's not that person who would go out and do a lot of things. She's very mindful of her diet. She's mindful of her exercises, rest, and everything. And I think that all these things have helped or culminated into making her a better person. Like mine, even though she's growing old, she's becoming so more tastier. And I'm praying that if for nothing at all, the Black Queens should qualify for the 2027 World Cup
so that she can lead the team to that World Cup, and afterwards, if she decides that she wants to take a bow from international football, she can. But I think that is the discipline, self-discipline, her determination, because she's not lectured. I mean, when I told you she's not lectured, you know what it means.
Yeah.
She's not lectured. And she realized that it is only football that could give her all that she required in life.
Yeah.
She loved it. She came in when she was only 6 or 7 years old, when Madame Abiba took her from in the Fishery area. And she has become one of the mainstay of women's football in modern times. She has a lot of contemporaries who have even gone up. They have retired, they have lost form, they have lost interest in the game. But she has done that significantly. She's led Ghana to so many important feats. I mean, in 2015, she was the one who won Ghana gold for at the African Games in Brazzaville. In 2016, she played a key role in making sure Ghana won the bronze at the women's AFCON there. And everybody thought she was going to go off. But she came back and led Ghana to another bronze at the 2024 women's AFCON. And so for me, I think that it is the discipline, if you ask me. It is the discipline, and she's showing off the talent and the skill God has blessed her with.
Finally, Kim Lass seems to have a team that is heavily dominated by foreign-based stars who, Abigail would always say, started playing here before they left. Are you looking forward to seeing a lot more girls from the Women's Premier League finally or possibly stake a claim to be part of Kim Lass's plans in future?
Well, as it stands now, you may not be able to get many players dominating, because you see, in 1998 when Nigeria won the AFCON and they've been dominating, the reason was that they had many more foreign-based players who were in the team, and that has been it. We were not fortunate because our players were not traveling around that much. But now that they do, if one, there is no time for you to come for a long time to build a team. So you would want to have already made players or players who have the quality already, who won't require too much work. And so that is one. And we also, in the mold of the Benedict Simon, the Chantel Boys-Locker, the Josephine Bosu. So if you have such players that you don't require too much work to hone their skills and polish them up, definitely you would want to go. It has become like what we see on the Black Stars now.
Yeah.
It is very difficult for local players to dominate. But for me, the excitement I have is that most of the players who are still playing active roles in the Black Prince were players who started off from Ghana and have been poached by other clubs. When they go, they get better and they come back to serve Ghana at the national level. And so that is it. So it will be difficult for players to break through and go in quickly and say that, look, we have come to command a first place team, in the team, a space in the team. And so once we have opted for that path, it will be difficult for us to go back. But I am looking at where we say that, look, as a way of encouraging and promoting the Ghana Premier League or the local domestic football, we will have maybe 5 or 6 people, because we know that when you go to international competitions, not every player will play. But when you give those players an opportunity to be around the established players, the key players, while it boosts their morale, it boosts their confidence, you give them the exposure so that in the unlikely event that they have to step up to the plate, they don't get overawed by the role you are giving them, because already they feel part of the team, they know what is expected of them, and they can play. So it's something that we have to live with now. I was initially not too comfortable with that, but it looks like now we have gotten to the stage where we no longer want to play second fiddle. We want to win, we want to be champions, and that is one of the surest ways of winning something for Ghana.
Thank you very much, Rosalind Amo, for your time on the show this morning. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
And we've been speaking with Rosalind Amo. She's a journalist and a sub-editor at Graphics, sharing her thoughts on the Queens. We caught up with her yesterday before the game, and after the game, she shared her thoughts with us. She's excited the Queens did Ghana proud in yesterday's game against the Lionesses of England. Senna, just like she said, Portia Boachishi, fantastic addition, fantastic player for the Queens, ever present, ever reliable. Yeah. And I think yesterday, post-game, apart from Conlan, she got a lot of praise for her efforts in yesterday's game.
I think that is her mannerism and her leadership skill away from the ball. You find her trying to put everyone in line in that soothing manner, not really yelling. Well, Christian Pierre said leaders don't have to yell. Yes, not really yelling, but you get her directing, making sure if it's her body, any part of her body that will get in line to at least cover up her colleagues, she does that. And like Madame Rosen rightly said, it's very difficult to even get a cough out of Portia Boachi. She wouldn't talk. She would prefer to let her foot do the talking for her on the pitch. And I think that kind of leadership has also covered the Queens to a larger extent. We have someone like that who command that aura, and that you know that, okay, this is a leader who will help me get the job done, not necessarily have to be always yelling, always out there. I think it is a positive one. And like she rightly said, started as a forward, knowing that this is football and this is what I have to do and want to do. She's put her all in it. And so, over 36 years, come on. It's not easy to be at that age and playing as she is. And like she said, her discipline is clearly what has brought her to this point. So, excellent leadership, excellent output yesterday. I think that the Queens gave everybody a reason to be proud of as Ghanaians and also support women's football to a certain large extent.
What next for the Queens?
I think that we need more of these. From now up until March, if we can at least squeeze in 2 or 3 more, not to ask too much, if we get one international one, yes, maybe 2 with our neighbors, Ghana-Nigeria friendly won't be bad. It won't be bad at all. Ghana, South Africa, no, maybe Morocco friendly won't be bad as a host. I don't know, but something good should come from all of these. And I'm sure after this, we might even be lucky to get some countries looking to also come and join in this moment of glory or in this moment of recognition. So I'm really very positive we'll get 1 or 2 high-profile games amidst the lower ranks one that will get ahead of the 2026 AFCON. I think that from the last edition, it has just been evident that if we plan, if we get some of these preps up and doing, correct most of our mistakes and getting there, it always gives results. We just did, I think, a few, and that was even just around Africa, went and were able to get to the final stage and then won that bronze medal. I think that if we keep up like this and pray and hope that these girls will also take their job seriously, get in shape, at least prevent some injuries that are preventable, and take care of themselves and are in good shape, it should be all well and good. But that doesn't mean that the doors are closed to the local players. I remember Kim said that in the interview we aired yesterday. I think the latter part of it, he mentioned that it doesn't mean that it is the end or you can't peak at a certain point. He still have his eyes back home. And so the young ones that are still playing in the Montagnes Women's Premier League, there's a lot of space for them if they will keep working hard.
Right. Abigail Sena Susu is here with us at Sporty FM. And she's a women's football expert, sharing her thoughts with us on the Queen's performance yesterday against the Lionesses of England. But Senna, before you go, what do you make of those who also say, well, England played it soft with us, they didn't bring their regulars, these were players who were also looking for favour in Serena Fegman's squad, and so the Queens were not really tested by a very strong Lionesses squad?
Regulars who came up and were able to score 2 goals. I bet to differ, because for Serena Fegman, I'm sure she was also trying to at least tinker with her team and also look forward to another generation. So if the Russos and the Bethany's and the rest are not able to start every other day, yes, granted, she made 9 straight changes to the side that started against China. But these are players from no mean club, from Arsenal, dominated by a Chelsea side. I think they had about 5 players or so. Just, I think, one Manchester United player, the goalkeeper, Animal Hearts from Orlando. She is just having her second game for the Lionesses as well. But it doesn't look it. So clearly, they are even telling us that whoever they bring to maybe put on that jersey is equally as good as those on the bench. That is what they are also portraying. And I think that I do not really want to have that conversation, because I don't think Serena Wegman would also want to end the year on a low and say that she would just throw in players there to go and lose for losing sake. It's a friendly, all right, but I think that they also had something at the back of their mind that it is a year that they've come clean to have won a lot of friendlies and encounters, and I do not buy it. So if we see how Beaver Jones gave us a lot of problems yesterday, you will not tell me that she's a second string player. I do not think it is a totally true idea. Yes, they are not regulars, but I'm sure if someone tells you, so ultimately to say a reserve player, you should understand. It means that they, even sitting on the bench, had their own ideas to come in there, and also at the end of the day made claims for themselves. Now, Serena Wegman also have a huge headache going into games, knowing that these are what even the girls on the bench can do. So I do not see it as a downside of the game at all.
Right. Thank you, Senna, for joining me on the show. Hopefully, we hope that the Queens get a lot more of these games, and we'll see how far they go as far as their campaign to conquer Africa is concerned, and possibly pick a World Cup spot for the next World Cup in 2027. So we wish the Black Queens well, and we pray that women's football in Ghana keeps surging up until they finally deliver the laurels. Still to come on the show, we'll be talking about the English Premier League, Spanish La Liga, and of course, we'll get into a bit of discussion around the Coppa Italia and some of the cup competitions that will be played across Europe, and then we'll talk about Division 1 football. So we'll pause for a spot of music. We would be back. This is Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. This is Sporty Breakfast.
Some dancers in this place. Everybody, come on.
Wednesday morning, and we are grateful to God for his mercy. It's a beautiful new month, and he has been our shield. Always good to be grateful. And this is Sporty Breakfast. We are live on Sporty 106.1 in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. And today we promise to get into the Ghana Division 1 League. Yes, the Division 1 League, because we always talk about the Ghana Premier League, and we get to talk about the Division 1 League when it's time for teams to qualify for the Ghana Premier League. When it's almost the tail end of the season, we get to talk about them. But today we've decided to do something on the Division 1 League. And as we all know, Division 1 League has 3 zones. Yes, 3 zones. Now you have Zone 3, where you find the likes of Accra Great Olympics, Inter Allies, Nanya FC, Home Stars, True Demo. You know, you find all of those teams there. A lot of the teams around the Eastern and the Greater Accra region, you find them there. Tema and its environs, you find some of these teams there. And then there's Zone 2, where you find a lot of the Central Regional teams and teams from Western region. All of them come in that way. And so you have the likes of Ashanti Gold 04, which is a new team that has just joined the Zone 2. You have Future Stars, Rose Park, Ibusua Drafts, Sky FC, Soccer Intellectuals, King Fighter, and then you have UCC Youngsters, Police National. All of them, you find them, you know, within that zone. And then you go to Zone 1, which has been divided in Zone 1A and 1B. So Zone 1A has a lot of the teams up north. You have Tamale City, Real Tamale United, Sankara Nationals, Wapa, Bogas All-Stars. And then you have Zone 1B, where you find a lot of the teams in the middle belt. So that BA zone, the Bono zone, you have the BB, you have Chichiman, Liberty, Doma, VC Warriors, Brekumas now, and Legon Cities. Yes, Legon Cities are there too. So, you know, that's Division 1 League for you. And 3 teams from these 3 zones would make it into the Ghana Premier League. So there's always that league that has a lot of interest in terms of teams that would get promotion to the Ghana Premier League. So today we've decided to have a conversation around Division 1, the Division 1 League. And I'm joined on the line by Mo Shaban. Yes, Mo Shaban is a football statistician, and of course he follows the local game very well. If you're looking for a Ghana Premier League Division 1 or a local football expert here in this country, you look no further than Mo Shaban. Mo, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Good morning, my brother.
It's great to have you.
Yes, it's good, and I'm excited that we are going to talk about Division 1.
Yes.
You know, from Division 1, you are heading straight to the Premier League, and so we need to give it more attention because that is where most of the talents are nurtured, and that is where most of the Premier League teams go for their talents.
Right. It's been 9 games into the Division 1 season, and competition is looking very keen as always. People used to call it the wilderness of Ghana football. I don't know if it's still the wilderness, but take us through what has happened so far across the 3 zones. What's the picture looking like as far as the Division 1 is concerned?
Well, I heard you talk about Zone 2, where you spoke about FC Ashanti Good and other teams competing competitively around that area. But if you look at Zone 3, let's start from Zone 3 because we are in Zone 3. And in Zone 3, like you mentioned, the regions, Greater Accra, Volta region, are all part of Zone 3. And so we have the likes of Port City, because last season we saw Port City chasing Hoho United to the final day. And so until the final day, we didn't know that it was going to be for Hoho United until they managed to sell qualification. And so we thought that this year it was going to be very smooth for Port City, because if last season, of course, you competed and failed to qualify, and you've been able to keep the entire squad, having beefed up with 2 Premier League players, then it means that you are going to be top. But surprisingly, rebranded Simpefi, because last year their name was Kofodia Simpefi, but this time it's been rebranded, and they are currently top of the league and winning their last 5 games. That's Kofodia Sempefi. They are on top with 20 points. And in Zone 3, it's been so tough to the extent that you can't now pinpoint whether Posity, Sempefi, Nagod, Atram, Golden Kick are going, who is actually going to qualify. First, you have to look at which sides are going to compete for the top 4. And it looks like prior to the start of the season, Oko United, Great Olympics, Port City were the teams tipped as the side to have battled for the qualification. But now things have changed. And it looks like Sempefi, Port City, Nagod, Golden Kick, and Oko United are the teams that are battling for the qualification. And it makes it so interesting. And it's just 2 points separating Sempefi from Port City. And Port City last game, they dropped points at home. And that is really going to worry them. But if you look at the relegation zone, because the Premier League relegation affects the Division 1, automatically 2 teams will go. Depending on how many teams were relegated in the Premier League, then we can now decide whether 3 teams will be relegated from Zone 3 or 3 teams will be relegated from Zone 2 or in Zone 1A and B. But as it stands now, Olympics are not in a good stage. And last week, their head coach had to leave because he wasn't satisfied. Sule Adamu, he wasn't happy. The results were not going well. He opted to leave the club. And it looks like they are still in their challenge because the last game they played, they considered 3 goals against Accra Lions. And that's really a tough one. They have just 7 points out of 9 matches played. And that's poor by a side that has experience and have had a feel of the Premier League. Now let's look at Zone 2. In Zone 2,
let me stay with you on Zone 3 a bit. Now, Sempefi, as you call it, who are the backers and what's making them this solid in Zone 3?
Well, some time ago, I knew it was they were playing their matches at Kofodia, and it was named Kofodia Sempefi. But this season, change of name, that's from Kofodia, is now Sempefi. And it looks like it's been rebranded.
Yeah.
You look at their branding, everything around the team looks very nice. Honestly, I am yet to know the owner of the team.
Okay.
But it's early days yet. I can tell you it's early days yet in Zone 3 because we've done only 9 games. We are playing 30.
Yeah.
And so we have
21
more games to finish the zone. Yeah. So everything is possible. But again, the more you accumulate your points, the more you have the chance of sealing qualification. And last season it happened when Posity were dropping points here and there, home and away, and then Ho United were amassing the points. Eventually, Ho United had to rely on their previous points accumulation to seal qualification because the points gap were only 3-2, 3-2, 3-2 as we get closer to the end of the season. Now, this year is 2 points, and that should tell you that if Port City do not put things right, they are also going to fight again as second spot side this year. And the history of the Division 1 tells us that you fight for one season, the following season you were able to get the qualification and come through. But it was only Sky FC in Zone 2 who fought for 3 consecutive seasons without qualifying. And eventually, they are out of the title race in the last 2 seasons. And so, Zone 3, Sempefi, rebranded Sempefi, causing troubles here and there in the zone. And Nagod hasn't given up yet. At a point, they had a little challenge, but they found their feet. They are doing well. Apart from Nagod, we can also talk about Golden Kick. Last season, I'm a bit surprised with Golden Kick because
they lost a lot of their players, including their coach.
Yes, Bless Ege, even their team manager. Yeah. Their team manager is currently with Heart of Folk. Bless Ege, Nuhu left them to Karela. Bless left them to Karela. Zachary Abdullah left them to Karela. And majority, Chunk, goalkeeper, also their goalkeeper number 1, also joined Karela United. They had about 4 players moving. And then the key of them, we have their captain Gripman also signing for Samatex. And so they are the core of the team leaving the side, including the coach and the team manager. It means that the entire team left the side after the season, but they've been able to keep the team. They've been able to manage the talent, and it is telling you that they have a lot of talent, and that if you are a starter, it means that the following season there's a backup for you who can start. And I'm not surprised they have one player called Joshua Fuseni. He's been a top-notch guy. Last year he played for TI Amas, yes, one of the school games, and he was actually the top scorer. He netted 6 goals. Then from there, Hearts of Oak wanted him, and eventually the deal filled off, and he's currently their top scorer. And so Golden Kick also have something to cheer about this season, and they are still fighting for qualification. Last year, after the first round, it was 4 teams. It was Hoho United, Positive, Oko United, also in there. There were 3 teams. This year, it is more than 3. It's Sempefi, Nagod, Hohoi, Golden Kick, all battling for qualification. That is telling you that Zone 3 has seen massive improvement based on the teams that are facing or battling for qualification. Now let's go to
Mo. I'm still curious about 2 teams in zone 3. Wafa seem to have clawed back. I mean, they've gone through the pyramid and they are back in Division 1 now. But it doesn't look like it's beginning to come off for them as they would have expected. Why do they seem to be struggling this early in Division 1?
Well, I don't think they are struggling. Wafa qualified from Division 2. Yeah. Just this last season.
That's correct.
And what it means is that they didn't do any recruitments. They are relying on the Division 2 boys, and it will take time for them to gain experience. And so if they are mid-table now with 11 points, and the league leader actually has a total of 20 points, and so it's just 9 points separating them from the league leader, and that is not bad. It will take time, it will take a lot of effort, but I'm not sure this season Wafa will give us so much, because they have to now build the confidence of the Division 2 boys. Even their goalkeeper is actually about 17 years. And so you have to give them an example. Golden Kick have been in the league for about 4 seasons. Yeah. But we actually saw them last season. Why? Because the kind of players they brought in were matured in that specific season. Right. And eventually, after their maturity stage, the Premier League teams plucked them because they needed them for the Premier. Now the players are not matured, they would have to gain experience, and that even where they are is plus for them. It's positive, and we have to also applaud them for doing that. Maybe my surprise will be Inter-Allied. They are actually battling relegation. Last season we saw them putting a lot of work. This year same, and it looks like they also have to work extra. Then I'm sure you would also want to touch on the former Premier League side, like Accra Lions,
yes,
like who are struggling. Accra Lions are actually not struggling. They also let go almost all their players, and
they're in a good position.
Started a new project, and the new project has a lot of Division 2 guys, and it is actually paying off. But there's one player at Wafa I want to talk, Evans Adati. He actually won back-to-back man of the match. He's a winger.
Oh, wow.
And even from Division 2, we've found a discovery from Wafa just after match day 9. A discovery from Wafa, and he's been extraordinary for the side. And he actually has 4 MVPs in 9 matches. That's Evans Adati. And it looks like a lot of the Premier League teams are monitoring him because the January transfer window is closed, and they want to beef up their squad. I'm sure the Premier League sides are waiting for the Zone 3 players to be right, and they will actually go and plug them for their sides.
Right. We can move on to Zone 2, where Ashanti Gold 04 are currently dominating, or currently top of the table. Let me put it that way.
Well, in Zone 2, Ashanti Gold, FC Ashanti Gold lost their first game over the weekend.
Yes.
And it was a big surprise, having been a very tough side for every team in Zone 2. Over the years, Zone 2 has been Sky FC New Edubiase United. It is no more Sky FC New Edubiase. Last year was Swedro Blacks Rose Park, and Swedro Blacks qualified. Then this year is FC Ashanti Gold battling for qualification and Unsupon Fidelity. And at a point along the line, Dwars were chasing. Because before Dwars lost their match day 9, they went 4 matches unbeaten.
Yes.
And they won all the 4 games prior to this, their fixture in week 9. Then eventually fell off. But it looks like Seshi All Stars, they have been rebranded, because over the years, I have followed Seshi All Stars. There's nothing to write home about. Maybe I can talk about their goalkeeper. One of their goalkeepers, Manson Frimpong. But the entire team fails to glitter anytime. But it looks like this year, Seshi is doing well. But to my surprise, newly promoted side, Nsupon Fidelity, Nsupon Fidelity. If you are mentioning their name, you have to actually check the dictionary first. Nsupon Fidelity.
Wow.
They were second spot until over the weekend, when they dropped points for Seshi All Stars to record a victory, to go second, chasing FC Ashanti Gold. And as we looked at Zone 3, the leader of Zone 3 had 20 points. The leader of Zone 2 also has 20 points.
Yeah.
So it's giving us an indication that the strength of Zone 3 and Zone 2 is equal this year. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yes. So that's the strength of Zone 2 and Zone 3 is equal this year because of the total points amassed by the first and second.
Sure.
And it looks like even the second, because the Zone 3, the second has 18, but here the second has 17. So everything about Zone 2 and Zone 3, it looks similar. But it's obvious that Zone 2 has FC Ashanti Gold, make them, they look like a qualification candidate, like Swedro Blacks last year. Even as at match day 9, we all knew that if they put in more work, they will qualify. But we didn't know what will happen in Zone 3. You get it?
Yeah.
We knew what we were optimistic that if Swedro Blacks put in more work, they will qualify because of the points amassed and the gap
between them and Rose.
And in Zone 3, we didn't know what will happen. Yeah. And it is happening this season as well.
Yeah.
Where we have FC Ashanti Gold 20 points, Seshi All Stars 17, Nsupon Fidelity 16, Future Stars 15, Elimina Sharks 15. Now let me tell you why, if FC Ashanti Gold put in more work, they will qualify. Because the other sides are not consistent.
Yeah.
Future Stars cannot guarantee you consistency. Seshi All Stars cannot guarantee you consistency. Nsupon Fidelity is a newly promoted side. Maybe along the line, the new boys will be struggling to glitter in games, and it will not be that of a consistent side in the second round. And so it's obvious. And even in Zone 2, if you are on top in the first round to the first round, 15 games, you have the opportunity to qualify. And it looks like Ashanti Gold are qualification candidates, and a little more effort will see them get qualification. But to my big surprise, New Edubiase United are not performing. And again, though they are not in the relegation zone, they are not giving me the best of performance. But the worst team in zone 2 is Police National. Police National.
It's surprising.
Are newly promoted side. And I went to do inquiry about them. And I wanted to find out why Police National are failing. Maybe, and per the reports I have, it looks like they didn't do massive recruitment. They were relying on their service personnel.
Okay.
So, yes, because they are relying on their service personnel, obviously you wouldn't have the best out of them. But we've seen a lot of police officers playing the league, even military officers, Jesus Tosuche, we've seen them play in the Premier League. So we are likely to have this, about 2 or 3 of them making it to the Premier League, maybe in the next 2 years, but they are struggling. Then we have UCC youngsters. I'm a bit surprised. You know, the majority of the footballers are students.
Yeah.
And Joseph Esau, Dennis Kosa, a lot of them graduated from UCC and they were actually playing for Mysterious Dwarfs. Maybe Dwarfs are trying to snatch all the best players from the students in Cape Coast. But I honestly can't believe that a school like UCC in their second season, last year was their first debut season in the league. In their second season, they are actually struggling. And if they are not able to put in more work, they will be relegated from their zone. And Sky FC in the mid-table, New DBRC in the mid-table, Mysterious Dwarfs in the mid-table, allowing FC Ashanti Gold, who are newly promoted side, to top the league. And I'm sure FC Ashanti Gold invested heavily. They have a stadium and they are investing. And the investment has to do with the number of players they have, because they went in for Heart of Lions goalkeeper Joseph Kobana Osai. He's a second goalkeeper to Lawrence Osei. When Lawrence Osei signed for Heart of Lions, Osai was benched, and before that he was the number one. And because of playing time, he had to move to FC Ashanti Gold 04. And you can look at it clearly that how many of the Division 1 sides can sign a Premier League goalkeeper on loan? And that is a signal that they want to qualify.
Now,
I'm not surprised.
This Ashanti Gold 04, does it have any links with the former Ashanti Gold we used to know? Do they have any links in there?
Well, per the report from the community, they love football. And that what happened in 2021-22, where Ashanti Gold were taken off from the league, and that in 2022-23 they were replaced by Tamale City, who had to play a playoff to seal qualification, and they've not been satisfied with the situation. You know, along the line, Kotoko went to play in Obuasi, and even Edubiasi are playing in Obuasi, but they are not satisfied. And so last season there was a team called Bekwai Heroes who were playing Division 2, and they have to buy the club, Bekwai Heroes, transform it or rebrand it to FC Ashanti Gold. And that because they didn't want to use the name FC Ashanti Gold, they had to add 04 to make it a new club, a new brand, and a new project. And so it is a project for the people of Obuasi. And look at the attendance. So it is directly coming to replace, though it's a newly promoted side, it is directly coming to replace Ashanti Gold. That is the project, because Ashanti Gold will not be back again. And so FC Ashanti Gold 04 is a direct replacement to FC Ashanti Gold, and that the community can also have a feel of football. But I have followed them keenly, and I can tell you, they are one of the sides with a number of fans, huge number of fans at match venue. And trust me, you have the Obuasi Linkley Stadium full to capacity anytime FC Ashanti Gold is playing, and that is a signal that they are back, and they are back for good with their new club.
Right. And there's the issue of Police National. The police have a very strong women's team, and so it comes to me as a surprise that the police are not able to put together, a formidable team to represent the men. As far as the Division 1 is concerned, that's a curious case.
You want us to be arrested. You want us to be arrested this morning.
It's a curious case, but I think that this morning, if the police hierarchy are listening, I mean, you cannot have a very solid women's team, and then the male team is struggling to win games, struggling in Division 1. I mean, they did so much to qualify for the Division 1 league. They are here now, and they seem to be struggling. I think that, the handlers of the team should put in a bit of work, put in a lot more work, put in a lot more effort to see the team stay in Division 1 and possibly get into the Premier League in future. Because, I mean, we want to see, teams like this bring a lot of excitement. So, Ghana Police Service, if you are listening to me this morning, your male team is not performing. Your male team is not performing. IGP, your male team is not performing in Division 1 Zone 2. So please, get your people to wake up. 3 defeats in a row. 4 defeats in their last 5 games. It is not good. The women's team are doing well. The CID, what's her name? CID boss. She's managing the women's team, and we are seeing results. So the men should wake up. As for this one, Mo, this one you didn't say it, I said it.
These are no heart already. Yeah, this is just like me.
Yeah, Mo, let's continue with Zone 1.
Well, Zone 1, it looks like, in Zone 1A and B, the 16 teams have been divided into two. We have the Zone 1A, which is made up of the northern teams like RTU, Tamale City, Sankara National, newly promoted sides, Wa Power, Yepe FC. Then the Zone 1B is made up of the Bronga Hafu sides. So we have DBB, Doma Unity, Tichima Liberty Youth. They are the Zone 1B side. But
that's the action. Well, that's where the action is.
Yes, the action is there. But the Zone 1A is between the Zone 1A and B. It looks like Zone 1A is more tougher this year. Last year, RTU got it qualified from Zone 1A. They did well. They came into the playoff, lost to their opponent. But this time around, this is what is happening. At a point, it was RTU were on top. Then it went later. Now it is Tamale City. What it's telling us is that between Tamale City and RTU, they will be battling because 19, it's just 2 points separating them because RTU dropped points in their match day 9 and Tamale City won in their match day 9. And they are all former Premier League side because Tamale City featured in the 2022-23 Ghana Premier League. They have experience. And RTU in the last 2 seasons were even playing the Premier League. Now, in Zone 1A, we are going to see battle to the end because at the point Tamale City will go on top, RTU will go on top, but the most experienced side is RTU. And one thing they did was to keep their core of the side. That is their top scorer last season, Wisdom Jonas Manina, is still with the side. Their goalkeeper Abdul Rauf is also part of the squad, Abdul Rauf Mohammed. So that makes them a very tough side. But in Zone 1B, it looks so easy. And if you look at Zone 1A, RTU, Tamale City have massed 21 points. Don't forget that we spoke about Zone 3, league leader, Sempefi 20. Zone 2, FC Ashanti Go, league leader 20. But Zone 1A has 21 points, which is one more than the Zone 2 and Zone 3. But the Zone 1B has a lot of points, and that is a clear indication that DBB is qualifying. And if you look at the DBB's last 5 matches, they won all games, and they have 25 points, 5 more than Zone 1A, B, 4 more than Zone 1A. So the Zone 1B is actually topping in terms of points accumulation, and that is DBB United. And if you look at their total goals, 20 goals scored, and it is a signal that they have a good team. And for me, there is always a playoff here. And as it stands now, you can, like what I said, FC Ashanti Gold are candidates. The Zone 1B are also a candidate of playoff. That's DBB. They are candidate of playoff. But as to whether they are going to play Tamale City or RTU, that one, unless we get to match day 2021, because the statistics or the metrics have shown us that from match day 20, you are able to see which side will qualify in Zone 1, A and B. Because the points gap will be wide, whether 6, 7, or 5, or 4. And you're able to tell that these sides are going to qualify. In fact, last year, 11 Wonders qualified with 3 games to spare. And R2 also qualified with 2 games to spare. And so we have a lot of work to do. But it's obvious. Zone 1B has more points, DBB 25. Zone 1A has the second best points, that's 21. And Zone 2, Zone 3 has 20 points, Simplifi and FC Ashanti. But Zone 3 is not clear. 1A is not clear. But Zone 1B and Zone 2, a bit clear. We are able to see FC Ashanti with the project. We are able to see DBB United with the project.
Now, Mo, before you go, Zone 1B. Now, you see the teams in there. You can talk about Legon Cities who have been in the Premier League before, Brekuma Arsenal who have been in the Premier League before, Techiman Liberty, no, Doma, Mighty Royals, KSC Soccer. You look at all these teams, that zone used to be very competitive. It used to be very tough. Why is it looking so easy for WB United this season?
It's been divided into two. And the two experienced teams have not put in anything. Legon City is a former Premier League side, and they are actually on their way to Division 2. Sporty. And then Ibrekum Arsenal, who also gained promotion just this season because they were in Division 2. They have to struggle for so many years before making it to Division 1. And because they've not invested much, they are struggling in Zone 1B. In Division 1, you still need investment because DBB have nurtured a lot of talent. That is where Hussein, the heart of hook midfielder, is coming from DBB. And they don't release their talent so much. They keep them, and they have one of the most experienced coach, Nyama, former Olympics coach. He is with the side now. So you can't underrate them. I bet to differ, you can't underrate WB United. They've done so much. It was like a Liberty Youth were chasing, but they didn't put in more work. And if you look at the 8 teams over there, it's just Ibrekum Arsenal and Lagos City who are former Premier League side. The rest of the teams, that's 6 of the teams, have never had the feel of the Premier. But the Premier League teams are rather struggling. The former Premier League sides are rather struggling. And it tells you the kind of challenges they are going through. But it looks easy. It's been divided into 2, and so you won't have the best of size in one zone, the best of size. Even if you look at Zone 1A, TF Exponential, Wa Power, Yepe FC, the only side giving RTU competition is Tamale City.
That's correct.
Apart from Tamale City, it's becoming so easy for them. And that's what is also happening in Zone 1B. And it looks like before we finish match day 18, maybe we could have even amassed 60 points or 50 points and making it uncomfortable for other teams. Maybe they have to throw their towel that we've given up. Maybe they should still qualification, but we still have a lot of games. In Zone 1A and B, let me state it here, we play only 28 matches.
Yeah.
Yes, but Zone 2, Zone 3, we will have 30 matches.
Right. Moshaban, there's an interesting observation. Yeah, this one is just for laughs. Legon Cities are currently bottom of Zone 1B, and 11 Wonders are also bottom of the Ghana Premier League.
Exchange is not bribery.
Mo, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully, we'll catch up next week, and then check out where Zone 1 is at the moment. Where the Division 1 league is at the moment. Okay.
Thank you, my brother.
Right. Have a good day, Mo.
Same to you. It's been a while, but we'll check up.
Sure. We'll catch up. Right. So that was Mo Shaban, Ghana football statistician. These days, he does a lot of work, trying to put together the stats of the Ghana Premier League. And also, he's a seasoned Ghana football expert when it comes to football here on the local scene. He knows his onions. And Mo Shaban joined us on the show to talk about the Division 1 League, which we never really talk about. We only talk about Division 1 when it's time for the playoffs or when it's almost time for teams to seal qualification to the Premier League. But Kelvin is here with me. Kelvin, good morning and welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
What do you have for us this morning?
It's going to be great. It's just the overview of the Under-17 World Cup.
Okay.
And looking at FIFA's talent development scheme and how the African nations are performing, what lessons Ghana would probably derive from it and how we can get better, because the Under-17 World Cup is being played yearly, and Ghana cannot be missing out of these competitions, especially when we've had it twice, won it twice in 91 and 95.
When we won it with old men. Let's continue.
So we're looking forward to that. So I'll be joined by Abdul Faisal Chipsa, high performance specialist, and who was also on the TSG, and that we'll be having reactions from Arsene Wenger, some quick interactions we had with him, and also Clive Tazi, Ugandan sports journalist who was present there because Uganda were there too.
Yeah, Uganda did well.
Yeah, we'll have bits and pieces of that, and then ask about how Lionesses is performing. Let's not forget he's qualified for the Under-17 AFCON. That will be played. So there's also Ghanaian interest. We'll be looking at that and how he's shaping up the IU team. So a lot to discuss this morning.
What time is the show?
From 10:05 to 11 a.m.
10:05 to 11 a.m. Yeah. So stay with us. Kelvin will be with you from 10:05 to 11 a.m. as he runs the rule over the Under-20 World Cup and that was won by Portugal a few days ago. Well, let me remind you that tonight there are games to look forward to in the English Premier League. And we'll be talking about some of the games. We wish we had time to talk about some of the games, but let me take you through what to expect in the English Premier League later tonight. Arsenal have it all to do as they seek to restore their 5-point lead ahead of Manchester City, the team in second. Arsenal play Brentford at Emirates. Brighton and Hove Albion play Aston Villa. Burnley play Crystal Palace. Wolverhampton Wanderers take on Nottingham Forest. Leeds United will play Chelsea. And then Liverpool plays Sunderland later tonight. So these are the games to look forward to in the English Premier League. And in the Coppa Italia, you have Atalanta taking on Genoa. Napoli play Cagliari. And Inter Milan taking on Venezia in the Coppa Italia match. And that's the round of 16. So games to look forward to in the round of 16 of the Coppa Italia. There's Copa del Rey as well. Some interesting games to look forward to. In there, you have Real Sociedad taking on Ruiz FCR, and then Betis taking on Torrent. These are some of the notable games to look forward to. But Spanish La Liga match day 19, there's a fixture that has been brought forward, and that's the Atletico Bilbao Real Madrid game, because both teams will be playing in the Super Cup, Spanish Super Cup, somewhere in January. So these games have been brought forward. So that's a game to look forward to. Real Madrid would have to win to ensure that they close the gap back to 1 between themselves and FC Barcelona, who beat Atletico Madrid yesterday. Well, this is all time will allow us on today's edition of Sporty Breakfast. Today has been the special edition. Special birthday wishes to our team lead, Gary Al Smith. Happy birthday to you, Gary Al Smith. And I mean, it's always been a pleasure working with you. We pray that God lifts you way beyond the sky, and may God grant you all your heart desires. All your special prayers on your birthday, we pray that God answers them. Big thank you to the entire production team, Immortal Ejakwa Champion, Yusuf Desaja Isa, aka Flyboy, Fidelis and JJ, Abigail Sena Susu, Fidelis, aka Tintin. Yes, I almost left that out. Janet Nanekua Mankwa, Nana Kwamilabi, Emmanuel Ayamga, and the entire technical team, Biggie, Yeyo, Jonathan, Trish, Douglas. A big thank you to the entire team for making this show successful. Nathan Kwao providing support out there. And to our team lead, Gary Al Smith, big thank you to you for making this show happen. We'll be back again, God willing, tomorrow morning with another interesting edition of Ghana's #1 sports morning show, Sporty Breakfast. Programming on Sporty FM continues at 10:05. Kelvin Owusu-Ansah would run the rule over everything that happened at the Under-17 World Cup, 10:05. At 12, we bring you the news. At 12:30, we bring you Sporty Plug with Nana Kwamilabi. All of you, the Panthers out there, that's the show for you. At 4 p.m., we bring you Sporty Drive. At 7 p.m., there's European Nights. And at 10 p.m., there's NBA and NFL show Ball Up Top with Winston Michaels. My name is Raymond Nyamador, and it's been a pleasure coming your way with Sporty Breakfast. Join me tomorrow for another interesting edition. Until then, be good, stay safe, keep listening to